Hey everybody. So the angel Nathaniel, and when we tone it, it's Nathaniel, right? So it means God has given or gift of God. A lot of times Nathaniel is referred to as the gift bringer. And so, on a superficial level, we go through and we look at, okay, angel of divine justice and integrity, purification and healing, inner clarity and spiritual insight, personal growth and transformation, guardian of spiritual awakening, and bringer of divine gifts. But on Tuesday nights, we want to talk about something more than just what's in the book or things that we can look at and it's one of those things where each one of these angels is like an energy that is associated with an enlightened mind. And it's like a portal or a pathway for us to access something that we probably couldn't access otherwise. And so the idea of bringer of gifts, that sounds nice, but what does that mean? Bringer of gifts. You know, a lot of times when we think of bringer of gifts, we think about it from the point of view of being in survival mode, in our survival mind. I need this, I need that, I would like this, I would like that. Um, we want to bring something in to satisfy those survival drives. And the idea of bringer of gifts has nothing to do with resolving something in our everyday lives. Has nothing to do with possessions or going to the store or some issue or conflict with somebody or the difficulty that we're having in a particular part of our life. It actually doesn't have anything to do with that. you know when we think of these ideas, the intellectual mind, we try to grasp these ideas, these pieces of information, some sort of pattern or concept. But really, when we talk about these things that the angels bring, it's from the intuitive mind point of view. It's not from our intellectual mind. It's actually hard to just talk about it. That's why a lot of times we have experiences with it. But this one, I want to talk out a little bit. So, be it that you've been doing things with angels with us or some of the other classes, there's always this talk of, dysregulation of the nervous system, dealing with fight, flight, dealing with that kind of agitation in your body, and then increasing vagal tone, right? And so, for our nervous system to be balanced, we want to be able to take action, and even if we go into fight flight, to be able to take that sort of action and then resolve it, complete it, let the body restore and go into rest and repair mode, right? The difficulty is that in modern life, we're so bombarded with stimuli that it's hard for us to go into rest and repair mode. It's hard for us not to be simply in survival mode. But as we go through and we do certain practices, be it that it's healing or spiritual practice or self care, self nurturing, whatever it might be, we start calming down some of those survival drives. Because when we're in that survival drive, we really don't. think that it's could be different or that anything's different. We're just in survival mode. We really don't have the depth perception to see other areas of life or quality of life. We just see survival, right? And so as we start to increase vagal tone, we start to go like, oh, there's like a little bit of quality of life, and I get to enjoy things, I get to calm down, and I get to have these higher experiences, or I just get to feel a sense of well-being. I get to enjoy a connection with somebody that I'm close with, or the people that I care for. It's just you start having these other kinds of experiences. And even though we have those low emotions that might get generated from survival or everyday life, they get processed when vagal tone increases. And part of our spiritual development is the calming down of dysregulation and the increasing of vagal tone. The increase in vagal tone is how we experience the soul, right? The quieting down of the dysregulation is how we can physicalize it into our normal everyday life, right? And so it's not one or the other, it's a balance of the two. In the body, it's action, activity, rest, and repair. And in the mind, it's intellect and intuition, right? If we step back and look at this idea from the point of view of energy, of energetics, of the aura, of the chakras, of the meridians, of the way that the energy body functions, the way that Kundalini goes up, and the way divine energy comes down. If we look at those same mechanisms of the fight, flight, action, activity mode, and the rest and repair mode, the more that we're in dysregulation, the more that we're in that action and activity part of our nervous system, the more that activates the lower chakras, right? The lower energy centers. And not only does it activate those lower centers, because they're primal, they're tied to survival. Not only does it activate them, they kind of call the shots. They're a little bit more of the boss and the one that kind of directs things. And then we have our upper centers, right? And the more that we're in vagal tone, the more that the higher chakras, our upper faculties, the more that they become activated and the more that they have an influence over the body, the emotions, and the mind. And so when we talk about action and activity and rest and repair or intellect and intuition, what we're really talking about is the struggle between the lower nature and the higher nature. Like, let's be clear about it. That is what we're dealing with. And it's not that one should dominate the other. It's that they need to be able to interact in a way that's very harmonious. It's not that the higher nature needs to conquer the lower nature, or the lower nature is like, I'm gonna fight the higher nature and I'm gonna stand up for what I want or whatever. So the greater the vagal tone and the more the regulation, the more that the soul begins to influence not just the higher chakras, but then begins to influence the lower chakras. And there starts to be a greater balance between the higher chakras and the lower chakras. There's different chakral systems. Most chakral systems are 7 chakras. And, even though there's 7 chakras, they're not always the same 7 chakras or the same 7 areas, right? And then there's the There's some that have a 9 chakra system, and then there's a 11 chakra system. Doesn't really matter. Like, they're all still part of the energy body. How people use for whatever teaching that they're doing doesn't really matter what they're using, right? But like the crown, the forehead, between the eyebrows, the throat, the heart, these are all your higher faculties, right? Your navel, your sex chakra, your spleen on the left hand side, your low back, your basic chakra, these are all your lower chakras. Your solar plexus is bichakral. It's associated with the upper and associated with the lower. It's like, what does it identify with? Like, is it more upper? Is it more upper? So you could say that it's like kind of a clearinghouse between up and down, right? So if the lower centers are driving you more, your solar plexus is a little bit more lower nature in its actions, right? And then if you're more driven by the upper chakras, then your solar plexus is more driven by your higher faculties, right? So the more that we're in vagal tone, right, the more our upper chakras have an influence over the body, the emotions, the mind, the more that they have an influence over the lower centers. So this idea of bringer of gifts, it's a very deep, uh, it's a very deep teaching. And so in the Hindu tradition, there's these things called siddhis, like not like the city. It's like Siddhi. It's a city, right? And it basically means ability. Thing we're struggling with this last few weeks. So, okay, so as the vagal tone increases, our upper chakras increase. And so we have this idea of siddhis. In the Christian tradition, it just means gifts, right? These gifts that, kind of come upon us or presented to us. They're actually laying dormant within our field, but they don't become active until there's sufficient amount of vagal tone activity and a sufficient amount of intuition, right? There has to be light. Light is what makes these things blossom and grow, right? So, like a good example of this is um, the ability to communicate with like the animal kingdom or with the nature spirits of earth, right? Which means you're increasing your ability to heal and to materialize, to prosper, to thrive, right? And this ability comes when the heart is developed enough and the crown is developed enough. What starts to happen is the crown and the heart start to merge. And what happens is the crown takes control of the heart, right? The crown takes control of the heart. At first, we're trying to activate the heart. We're trying to move the energy of the heart up. And like we keep like feeding heart energy up to the crown so that we have our meditative experiences and we experience bliss and oneness. But at some point, when the crown is developed enough, it takes hold of the heart and like kind of becomes the boss or the captain, right? So when this happens, the ability that comes is the ability to communicate with animals, the ability to communicate through imagery. But more importantly, it's the ability to communicate with the nature spirits on Earth. And what that means is there's a flow or a stream of energy, like a current that runs through us that we then are are concretizing soul energy, but we're concretizing goodness. It is a manifestation of divine love. You can't experience divine love without this current flowing through you. Like it's until that current's flowing through you, it is an idea. You know of an idea. You're not having the experience. The experience comes as the current flows through you, and you're bringing light to the nature spirits, right? You're bringing light to the earth, and in that, you begin to experience divine love. So this is tied to the mixing of the heart and the crown, right? So in different traditions, the idea of this is in Buddhist tradition is associated with Zangapa, which is the anka behind me, right? And then in some of the more esoteric circles, this is associated with Kutumi. And it's also associated with St. Francis of Assisi. Now, it just so happens that all three of those beings are the same person. They're the same being, right? And the teaching that comes from this being is the activation of the heart, the activation of the crown, and the mixing of this energy between the heart and the crown. Now, if you think of St. Francis of Assisi, what is he surrounded by? He's surrounded by animals. He's got a bird in his hand. He's got little critters all looking up at him. You know, they're all, this is actually an inner teaching associated with the gifts that come. And basically it's a kind of alchemy. It's a mixing of a higher chakra with a lower chakra. And they have direct correspondences. Like the crown mixes with the heart. The throat mixes with the sex chakra. The ajna mixes with the basic. The heart also mixes with the navel, right? And in this, at some point, when these things begin to mix, the upper centers start to regulate the lower centers. They start to regulate our primal drives, our survival drives, the survival field. And our field becomes more spiritualized. Basically, what starts to happen is not only are we walking in the light, but light produces love, right? And so, in going through and doing this, you're opening up the pathways of manifesting goodness, right? Only good comes to me, only good goes from me. This is referring to this current that flows through us, right? And the only good coming to me, the only good going from me is when you align with the light enough, then you start manifesting, you start experiencing, you start having uh, communion with divine love. right? It starts to manifest goodness in your life. Even when difficult things happen, it actually turns into like a blessing or some good thing that helps us to evolve or helps the life to evolve or turns into resolving some problem that you weren't even aware of, right? And so this is the lesson of Nathaniel, right? This is the lesson of the bringer of gifts. Is the bringer of gifts is the mixing of the higher and lower chakras. By working with this angel, you keep mixing so that the higher centers take hold of the lower centers and then go, got a new agenda. This whole survival thing, we're going to survive, but we're going to do it in a new way. We're going to do it. We're going to change our clothes. We're going to take a shower. We're going to wash off all the grime of the past. We're going to do this in a new way. We're going to do this in a way that is more about us rather than just survival. And so, even if you don't understand what I'm talking about, we're going to go through and we're going to do a practice where we look at the idea of beginning to mix some of these energies and refine the light in the body so that we come closer and closer to being able to cultivate the idea of divine love. So, first, let's just invoke the name. You're going to close your eyes. No, than no, than no, than no, than just be still. And if you have the oil, just start inhaling it. You're not even going to put your awareness anywhere. You're just inhaling the oil. And then you're going to pause and be still. Okay, so first off, just notice how you feel. Like saying any of the angel names kind of puts you in a, I don't know, like a better place. I always feel like whenever I've chanted an angel name, like I'm a little bit of a better person, you know. What's starting to happen is you're accessing more of the intuitive side rather than the survival side. Survival side equals stress. Even if it's good stress, it's still stress. Doesn't mean we completely avoid it, but it also means that we don't have to be bathing in it 24/7. The ability to step in, step out, step in, step out, right? It's one of the beautiful things about working with angels is you get to step out for a while, stepping out of survival mode. So this is what we're going to do. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to explore the crown and then the heart, right? So you're inhaling the oil. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The crown, the crown. Your awareness is on your crown, very top of your head. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, now move your awareness to your front heart, the center of your chest. You're inhaling the oil. Your awareness is on your front heart. Okay, move your awareness to the back heart. Your awareness is on the back heart. And then go back to the crown, the very top of your head. And then just pause and let it go. You're just letting it cook for a minute. Okay. This time, your awareness is on your front heart. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the front heart. Now move your awareness to the back heart, that area between your shoulder blades. Move your awareness to the navel. Your awareness is on the navel. Okay, bring it back to the front heart. Move your awareness to the back heart. Your awareness is on the back heart, that area between the shoulder blades. And then just pause and let it go. How's this feeling? Hey, we're going to do another one. Your awareness is on your throat. You're inhaling the oil. Your awareness is on your throat. Yeah, feels good. Now, your awareness is on your back throat, the middle of the back of your neck. The middle of the back of your throat. Now, from there, your awareness is on your sex chakra. Your awareness is on your sex chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the sex chakra. Back up to the throat. Your awareness is on the throat. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And your awareness is on your back throat. Your awareness is on the back throat. Pause and be still. Notice how you're feeling, your body, your emotions, your thoughts. How about you? How are you feeling? I don't know about for you, but everything for me goes like quiet. Like it just, Like you can almost feel like a stream or a current flowing through you a little bit. Can you notice it? Like if you sit there and quiet, it almost feels like you're like kind of floating somewhere, going somewhere. It's okay, you don't have to talk. Okay, so we still have one more. Well, we actually have two more parts. Okay, so this last one is your awareness is between the eyebrows, the ajna. Your awareness is on the ajna. Back head. Your awareness is on your back head. Your awareness is on your back head. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The bottom of your tailbone. Your awareness is on the bottom of your tailbone. Your awareness is between your eyebrows on the back of your head. You're just letting go. You're letting go of everything. You're just letting go. Now, you're rapidly shifting your energy body here. If you stop here, you'll have an experience for a little bit and then it kind of drifts back a little bit. We want to be able to hold on to some of this. We won't necessarily be able to hold on to all of it, but we want to hold on to some of it. So the way we hold on to some of it is we do the four quadrants of the aura. Because you've rearranged how the chakras are functioning. And so remember, the aura is the energetic mold or blueprint, and you just kind of scrambled the blueprint for a little bit. So we want to go through and go, this is the blueprint. This is what we want to manifest. This is the mold that I want to follow. Right. So it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just we want to set the pattern. right? So now your awareness is on the left side of your body, your whole left side of your face, neck, your left shoulder, ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. You're inhaling with your awareness on the left side of the body. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Yeah, the front side of your body, your face, throat, chest, abdomen, front of your pelvis, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. The right side of your body. The back side of your body, the whole back side, back of your head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. We're pausing and letting go. Just keep your eyes closed. Let go. Just completely let go. Hey, let's go ahead and we're going to do more, but we're going to first share experiences, ask questions. You can unmute yourself or type in.
Hi, this is Lorraine.
Hey,
Um, I hope I can talk coherently after that.
I
Um,
know, huh?
just the invoking the name
Mhm.
began to take me very deep, and then inhaling the oil even more deep. But even just those two parts, I had this sensation or image of a channel. So it's interesting that you talked about current in the body, because I had an
Mhm.
image of a channel and then energy flowing, and then it just got deeper from there.
Nice.
But also, I've mentioned before that I have this very stressful job and I spend a lot
Mhm.
of time in survival mode.
Yeah.
And I've been looking, okay, what processes, which of these processes can I use to, shift or,
Hmm.
continue to work and live my life, but not spend so much time in survival mode. So what you were saying at the beginning and this process is just so timely for me. So I
Oh,
really
good.
thank you very much.
You're so welcome. And, for what you're talking about, and also, you know, you're dealing with, helping people. You're in that realm of like with what you do for work. And so it does enhance what you're doing. And the thing that it also enhances is Kundalini meditation.
Mm, thank you.
Yeah. And so, this week is Nathaniel. Next weekend is an angel called, and remember how we say Nathaniel, Nathaniel, right? Next week, it's an angel called Neton Il. Really super similar. right? And the name kind of has a similar meaning, but you could say Nathaniel is a little bit more on the vagal side of everything, and the one next week is the survival side. Like it helps to calm that down even more so. And so you could do them together. You could do one and then the other, or you might go like, I've been so stressed out. I'm going to do the one next week and I'm going to go through and do the process. And then you go like, hey, I'm doing meditation. I've just done my yoga. I've done whatever. It's a nice Sunday. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm going to do the other one. I go back and forth and do them both. Sometimes I do them both in the same sitting, but uh, it will enhance those kinds of practices. Yeah, there are some traditions where they teach one and then eventually teach you like a version of this, not with angels, but like a version of this. And so yeah, you could do it multiple times a week. Just sit and kind of go through. Like I like this version. It's a softer version than what like I was originally taught like many years ago. The version I was taught, like it did it, but it's like it made the body like like amped up. Like it was really hard to relax because there's so much energy going in the body. This is a very nice, soft, like, it still does the same thing, but it does it in a way that's very relaxing and, always kind of working towards the vagal tone component. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and you know what? Let me make sure you can. Yeah, you can. Go ahead, Danelle.
He didn't know.
Hey Greg, sorry about that. Um, Very, very calm and peaceful, and I kept having different images about the interactions over the years that I've had with animals, not necessarily pets, but
Sure.
more of the wild
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I thought that was interesting.
And the thing is like it's like a kind of communication. It's really like I say communication, but it's almost like a connection more than a
Hmm.
communication. But a lot of how we communicate with the earth, nature spirits, or even animals is not like intellectually. It's the intuitive mind. And it really is more a reflection of opening up that ability. And so like you'll start to notice like when you interact with just even in the vicinity, like things are more drawn to you, or you can go like that squirrel's really pissed off about something, not about me, but it's
Hmm.
not like you are putting together the way he's acting. Like you just get like a sense of what it is because communication with that realm is imagery. Like I've told this story before, but so this is many years ago. This is like 20 years ago, maybe. And I was living out in California and I had this house and I had an outdoor cat and he would go off. I wouldn't see him for days and he'd have his little adventures and he'd come back and one day there was another cat with him. And I wasn't sure if they were friends or something, but
Yeah.
something was going on. And so, I'm putting food outside, and so this other cat, wasn't really interacting with him a whole bunch, but they would just be around each other. But a lot of times they were apart. And so I was like, whatever. So, I'm feeding this stray cat or whatever. And I mean, it was definitely feral. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like I could pet it and it didn't have a collar or anything. I mean, it was cagey. Like if I just even looked and like started to walk towards it, it was like I'm out of here. Like he would
Right.
have no part of me whatsoever. But I'd feed it and like as soon as I'd shut the door, like he'd come up and he'd watch me as he's eating and everything. And so, a bit of time went by, like probably 6 months or everything. And one night I came home from work, I'd had a really long day. And, I put the food out and everything, and I looked over and he looked a little weird, but like, oh well. I was tired. I wasn't really paying that much attention. And I was looking at, I was like, oh, that's weird. His tail looks like a rat tail. And I went, wait a minute, that's not right. And so I kind of got closer and it looked like his tail had gotten run over by a car and it was
Oh.
just like the cartilage left. And I'm like, oh, God, what do you do for that? Like, I mean, it like had no skin, no fur,
Mhm.
no nothing. And so I'm like thinking, I put food out and I'm like, I just kind of keep thinking, like, I got to get you to the vet. I got to get you to the vet. And he kind of let me grab him and put him in a box, which I thought,
Mhm.
this is amazing. So I get him in a box and I take him to the vet, and the vet looks at him and, asks me all these questions. And I'm like, I don't know, it's a feral cat. Like, I don't know anything
Mhm.
about it. But, I don't want him to die. Let's take care of him. And so, they have to cut his tail off. And so then the vet comes back and goes, well, you're going to have to put medicine on his tail for twice a day for like 10 days. And I looked at the vet, I go, that's a feral cat. Like, I'm paying for him to have this done, but how I got him in a box is I don't even know. Like there's just no way that I'm going to be able to put medicine. And he goes, look, it's probably going to get infected if you don't put medicine on it. And, he'll get sick and die. So if you
Yeah.
can't do it, you can't do it, but that's what's going to happen. And I was like, ugh, okay. like, by this time it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like exhausted. So I'm like thinking this out and I'm like, well, I'll lock him in the bathroom and, I'll give it I'll give it the old college try.
Yeah.
And so I went through and I put him in the bathroom and he was looking at me like, dude, what are we doing? Like, and I put food and water down, a little cat box and everything. And so I'm like, ugh, I I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll just take this a day at a time. And so I would get the medicine out and I would think about like, okay, I'm going to hold him and, I'll have the stuff on my finger and I'll just do the best I can to try to get it on his tail. And
Mhm.
so I would think about what I had to do before I would go in. And from day one, I would walk in and he'd walk up to me and he'd turn around and he'd stick his butt up in the air where his tail was and
Mhm.
he'd rub the stuff on me, on his tail.
Yeah.
And then he would turn around and go, okay, nothing else, no funny business. Don't try to pet me. Like he
Yeah.
was like, that's all we're doing. And every day I would sit and like think about, okay, I got to rub this on your tail. And I would go and I'd rub it on his tail and he would come up and stick his butt in the air. So it started to happen so much that I stopped thinking about it before I would go in. And when I didn't think about it, he wouldn't come and stick his butt up in the air.
Mhm.
Like I had to think
Interesting.
about it first. And if I thought about it, then he would do it. But if I was just like tired and I was like, I'm gonna go put it in, I'll give him some food. And he would be looking at me like, dude, we do not have this kind of relationship where you get to come in and be around me. So I'd step
Right.
back
Right.
out and I'd think about like, okay, I gotta put medicine on your tail and da 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 da. Walk back in and he'd stick his butt up in the air.
Yeah.
That's the kind of communication that like it's like imagery. Like, you get
Mhm.
imagery. And if you think about like how we talk about even materialization, like when we're trying to concretize a goal or an idea, it's imagery. It's not like I want this, I want that, I need this to happen. It's like you sit and you hold the image in your mind and then it goes through the motion of concretizing. And just like that cat, that's what the nature spirits, they're just like that. Like if you put the image in your mind and you can hold it in your mind, it's eventually what will concretize.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting. I've had some of those experiences with working with people with their animals that have crossed over, and
Oh yeah,
that's what happens. It's images that come from
right.
them.
It's images. Yeah.
It's not like they're giving a verbal message or something,
Right, right.
you know. It's very,
Good
very
for you.
interesting. Yeah.
Very good
Um,
for you.
yes. Yeah, yeah, thank you. And yeah, I love connecting with the animal realm and the
Yeah,
nature spirits. Oh,
yeah.
I had one more
Mhm.
question.
Sure.
Would this involve kind of like the spirit animal realm too?
Yeah,
Ki-
sure.
It would,
A
okay.
lot of times a spirit animal is also like a kind of guide.
Right, right.
It's more like a guide that is like using the animal to kind of give you like, like a reference point, but
Yeah.
it still would work.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. I also wanted to offer my condolences, Greg, too, for
Oh, for Reverend
Reverend
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, just this heart-centered work really
Yeah.
reminds me of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
It was quite the shock. I sure love that guy.
yeah, yes, definitely
Yeah.
will be
Thank you
missed.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
you're welcome.
you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. I'll pass
Thank,
that on to to his wife and the staff.
thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And go ahead, Ralph.
Hey, Ralph.
Hey, Greg. So this seems like something that would be fun to do. Uh, we went through this on kind of a slow roll.
Yeah.
And if we were going to integrate this with our busy evenings,
Mhm.
um, could we do like, 4 inhales
Yeah,
per,
you could do a 20-minute version of it. The other thing that you could do is you could focus on one of them at a time. Like you could do the crown heart, you could do the heart navel, you could
okay,
do the throat, back throat, and sex chakra. Um, and then the ajna, back head, and basic. And
okay,
they each kind of have like their own like kind of gifts or tendencies that they bring forth. It's not like you go, oh, this is the tendency I want, but there's like a realm that each one kind of is in,
right.
and so the ones with the heart and the crown and the heart and the navel definitely has to do with like materialization and communication and things like that. The the throat and sex chakra has more to do with creativity, gifts in
Hmm.
that realm of being creative, which could also mean problem solving,
Yeah,
learning, um, and then the ajna, backhead, and basic is TCB, taking care of business.
okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Like so if like procrastination is an issue, you could just work that one. Or if you're like, I'm not a procrastinator, but in this area, how like sometimes you get going and then you're just like, I just don't know what and there's
either I don't know what to do, or it's like
yeah, there's like a hesitation of
I
some
really
sort.
need like some more information or some
Yeah,
something
yeah.
before I launch into
That
this
would be the
project.
ajna backhead basic. Like,
Okay.
like if you do that enough um, kind of turns you into a little bit like a bulldozer, just blockages, whatever obstacle, you just keep kind of powering through those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so do one section and then do the 4 quadrants.
You could do them all together, but like if you're going like, okay, look, I
Well,
got
if
15
I'm
minutes.
feeling really energetic that night, I'll do them all together.
Right. But if you go like, okay, I got 15 minutes or 20 minutes,
I'm
Just
gonna
into
do
one of
one.
them. Yeah,
And
just
then
into
do the four quadrants to sort of set the
definitely.
foundation, as it were.
Yeah. And you can do the four quadrants in like a couple of minutes. It doesn't have to be some big, it's just like wiping the counters clean after you've done cooking. Just wipe them down. It doesn't have to be spotless, but clean up the crime scene.
Yeah.
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 Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And go ahead, Dan.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, wow, this is thank you. This is quite the teaching here. Actually,
You're
it's
so sweet.
very,
Thank you.
very good timing too.
Yeah.
I've been going through this period of like disillusionment. I mean, with everything that's going on, everywhere kind of thing. And even
Yeah.
recent experience I had with trying to help out a friend and visiting him in hospital and stuff like that. That just kind of
Yeah.
like more I was bothering him than, actually, just trying to be there for him, but
Yeah. Yeah.
and so and I kept circling around, like circling the drain as far as, I don't get it. But every time I started chewed on it, it's like I find myself back in that same pattern, right? The same loop, like what, and all that sort of thing. It's about me, it's about him, and I'm just so tired of that whole thought process. But anyway, this was just like perfect because it like was like a doorway or there's a new room to step into, right?
Yeah. Like I would say that they each have like their kind of like I like to use the word realm. Like they
Realm.
have like a little realm that like you step into it and you're like, it's like
Yeah.
stepping into the forest and you go from your busy office and you step into the forest and you're like, this feels nice. Like
Yeah,
it
exactly.
feels like that. And really what's happening is there is a current or a flow going through you that helps to facilitate that. The one that I think would help you with what you were just describing is the back heart, navel. That
Okay.
would be super good for you.
Heart, back,
Yeah,
heart,
yeah,
navel. Right. Yeah, I
yeah.
got that right here. I kind of write these down now as we go through them.
Hmm.
Just make it as a quick reference to come back to it.
Hmm.
It's like superb. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah. And the bit about the animals, I caught when you shared that one about the cat recently. And it's like,
Hmm.
I've been, yeah, blessing like the nature spirits in the back
Hmm.
area, in the backyard and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And I see like today, I mean, it's like I saw a worm kind of all dried up, and it's like just trying to survive. And I picked him up and tried to find it, and found actually some nice moist grass to get him
Oh,
into.
nice.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's just kind of helpful. But it's interesting that after I did this, I mean, we're running in the 90s out here now, and it's like. Um, it just felt this cool breeze come by, it's kind of
Hmm.
one of those kind of validation things, that was kind of
Hmm.
cool to kind of help him out kind of thing. So that's kind of,
Yeah, like the thing that I would say is um you're like being in harmony, like whichever one you're working, it's like a kind of like that realm is like a kind of harmony within that realm that you're experiencing. And some of us are maybe experience a little bit more of one of them, but the goal is to be able to experience all of them. And even though you might have a predisposition to a particular area, that you keep developing these different areas because they are a deeper connection between the incarnated soul and the higher soul. Like each one of them is like making one of these little connections between the higher soul and the incarnated soul. So it's not even just that, oh, there's a harmony here. Of course, that benefits us. And that's the thing that usually motivates us. But the byproduct is that there is a deeper level of connection between the incarnated soul and the higher soul that we wouldn't be able to experience otherwise.
Hmm.
You know,
Anyway, it's
it
very,
might not happen at first, but you do it enough and you give it time, the perspectives change quite substantially. Yeah.
there's
Like, it's just like I'm in my office and I'm all stressed out, and then I walk out the door and I'm in a forest. Like after a while, like that forest, you can't get it out of your head. You're like, even though I'm in the office and close my
you
eyes, I
bring the
can see the
forest with you
forest.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I can feel the effects of the forest.
Oh, oh, that's great.
It starts to be like that.
Okay. Yeah, and there's such a, I mean, I almost didn't join, but it's like I really, these classes, especially, or these sessions with these angels, is actually phenomenal.
Yeah,
Something else, right? It always brings me to
yeah,
another place, but this
yeah,
is like I stepped into maybe the forest at this point. It's
yeah,
in a different place. I'm
yeah,
so at ease now, considering where I've been for the last few days. It's just a pause. It's a nice place. It's a
yeah.
nice place. Dare I say, knock on wood, the universe will come back. And how good of a place was it?
I
How good are
know.
you feeling?
Seems to be a lot of that going around these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, all
Yeah.
good.
But even then, because you bring up a good point, is like, okay, I'm having these amazing experiences and like, and then you go out there and then life happens and you get a challenge or something.
Mhm.
And the idea is like, even in the faces of the challenges or the difficulties, or Lorraine was talking about, like, she has very stressful work or whatever it is, or, Ralph's talking about, like, I have stressful work and I come home and I got 20 minutes. What do I do?
Right.
And, if you continually just keep setting the pattern, just setting the pattern, because at first we're just in survival mode and we start to increase vagal tone and you start to go, oh, I feel a little calmer, I feel a little peaceful, I feel like I can shake off the survival stuff or the stress of the day and everything. But pretty soon it's like it flips, and pretty soon you're bringing in those inner experiences, and you're bringing it in to these situations. And as weird as it sounds, we can't really have inner peace without the stress of the day or the crisis.
Mm.
It's the idea of fight, flight, and vagal tone. Like it's actually a reflection of a very deep mystical teaching, where for us to be able to experience an emptiness, a kind of oneness, we also have to have the experience of the interdependence of life and survival and dealing
Wow.
with people and dealing with crappy people and dealing with that, because it's like lifting weights and building muscles. We can go deeper into the emptiness and the oneness without being able to have that form to like bounce us back into some deeper. Like if we don't have that and we just go, I've created a space where I don't have any of the daily stuff. I can just sit and be peaceful, and you'll be peaceful, but you won't be able to go deeper into the emptiness and the oneness and the levels of peace. You have to also have that the struggles of the day and the things that we have to deal with. And in that, just like yin yang produces all phenomenon in the universe,
Yes.
for us to have a deep spiritual experience, we have to have those things, but we need to not lose our mind or lose ourselves and be able to go, I'm dealing with difficulty and I'm going to take this deeper into peace. I'm going to take
Right.
this deeper into oneness. I'm going to take this deeper into emptiness. And then when you come back It's like you're more present with the situation, and whatever's happening is happening. And eventually what happens is, as you bring in that emptiness and that oneness and that peace, is in those difficulties you begin to manifest divine love. You begin to manifest goodness. Instead of just, "Ugh, I got to get away." At some
Yeah.
point, you go, "Okay, what do we got going on here? Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's upsetting. Yes, it hurt my feelings. Yes, it's all of those
Yeah.
things."
Right.
But I keep chipping away at it, chipping away at it, and pretty soon, what happens is, then in those times, you begin manifesting goodness, and that is the manifestation of divine love.
Mhm. Oh, that's yeah, I can see that. I could follow through with that. So is that kind of like, you brought up the yin yang. Um, it's kind of like there's the S that's between the two, right? Kind of like the curved line between the one. You got the form as the little dots, or
Mhm,
excuse me, the seed as the little dots, right?
mhm.
Going from the big kind of lobe things. But there's also that kind of center line between the two. Is that kind of been that void area? Could you equate that to the void
Yeah, it's the void or the balance,
or the
the
balance of it?
in
Yeah,
between, the transitional place in between
yeah, yeah, between the
form
two.
and essence. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thanks
You're
for the
saying,
share. Yeah.
And go ahead, Barbara.
hey, hey.
Hey there. I appreciate you talking about the fourth pattern as being the taking care of business.
Yeah,
The second put the awareness on the ajna and started inhaling, it's like the crown came in and said, I'm taking over the reins.
right.
Um, and I feel like something shifted in the brain. It's gotten
Hmm.
quiet. Hopefully it's just the intellect part. And I don't know if that had to do with the four quadrants practice, shifting something,
It was probably a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like the chatter that we feel is really more from the lower chakras than the upper chakras. And so as the lower chakras are being regulated by greater influence of the higher chakras, that will like begin to manifest. And then when you go through and you do the four quadrants, it just, like, the four quadrants is really like in this piece right here, it's more about anchoring that light or that presence more than, like, in the work programs, we're cleaning things up and we're setting programs. This was just about like anchoring the light so that we're able to hold on to it for longer, or like integrate it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is it something feels different? Like there's a almost a distance or a
Hmm.
I don't quite know how to explain it, but something shifted up there.
Yeah, so I know exactly what you mean. Like, I try to talk about this sometimes, but I don't know that my brain has the ability to talk about it. And it's one of those things where it's probably more about an experience, but it's kind of like how sometimes we talk about like different lenses. And
Mm,
like when we're in survival mode, everything's under a microscope. It's just, you're just looking tunnel vision at whatever's going on, and you don't really have a lot of depth perception. And really, if we're in survival mode, that's kind of necessary. Like, if you think about survival thinking, you don't need to be thinking about 5 years from now or big picture or what I'm trying to cultivate. It's like, I need to run, I need to fight, I need to deal with what's right in front of me, right here, right now. And when we start to shift out of that, it doesn't mean we don't have access to it anymore. We just aren't always there. Like, we're stepping out of it a little bit. And as we step out of it, like the perception changes. You can see how things play out a little bit more. You can see how things unfold, and you can see like this is what I want to cultivate in these particular areas. And over a period of time, if I do these little movements, I'll produce this result. And then, there's even a bigger picture and an even bigger picture. And it's not that we just see the big picture. We kind of slide into these different viewpoints when we're in whatever place that we're in, right? And so we're usually very stuck or fixated in kind of some level or degree of like a survival mode. And then we meditate, we have our experiences, and we like step out of that and you go, oh, that's amazing. Time to get back to work and get back to that survival mode. Like, and it still gets upgraded, but at some point you can unwind it enough to where it's not that it goes away and it's not that you don't know how to do it. It's just that you just go, I don't need to be doing that right now. But when I pick it up and start doing it, I know how to work the buttons. Like I know how to get in there and do it. And it's almost like there's this, I don't know, like a confidence or uh confidence is probably not the right word, but like I think at first, like calming down the survival modes is a little scary. It's like if I step away, what's going to happen? And then what I mean by confidence is like I can sit this down and I can go over there and I can have whatever time I'm going to have. And if something comes up where I need to get into that, I can come back in, put those clothes on and do it. And then I can set it back down again. And so there's almost starts to be I don't know, confidence or like strength or a
Yeah,
self-assuredness.
I think I know what you're trying to get to. It's
Yeah,
almost like there's no urgency, like there's an assurance that everything's
right.
okay.
Yeah. And I can go over there, and if I need to, I can still come back. But
Okay.
I think about for myself, so many years I was like, okay, if I step away from this, I'll step away, but I still have to be able to touch it. Like I can only get so far. And then if I step further away, I'll keep looking back. Like, it's like being out at a lake or the ocean, and you're like, I can still see the shore. My feet can still touch the ground. I'm kind of okay. And then pretty soon you go, oh, I'm going out. I'm going out past the reef. It's getting deep. Like but I can still see the shore. Like I'm okay. I'm okay. And there just comes this time where all of a sudden you go, I'm gonna go out to sea for a little bit. I know how to get back. I know how to look at the sun and find the shore again. Even if I can't see the shore, I'm gonna go out and do this thing, and then I'll find my way back. And that's an exaggeration, but it starts to be like how we're really just shifting into different parts of ourselves. We're just shifting into different parts, different aspects of our consciousness that are always there. It's just they're a little too far away from that part that's really good at survival,
Hmm.
you know?
Thank you.
Yeah. They wear different glasses, you know what I mean? Like survival,
Yes.
everything's under the microscope, but like in other areas, it's like, ooh, I got glasses. Look, ooh, I got binoculars over here. Oh, I got a telescope. Look what I can see. Like, oh, I can see so far. And, it's
Like
different.
sitting in the eye doctor's chair, flipping the lenses.
Right.
Turn your eyes.
Right.
Yeah. One better or two? Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Someone's asking, would Greg repeat what each of the four segments focuses on?
It's more about like being in a different realm. I wouldn't say that it's great about like trying to focus, but um, better just to do them all together. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just shared that was lovely.
Yeah.
I can talk now, so that's something. I appreciate
It
all
was
the
funny to
shares.
watch you.
Man.
It was really funny to watch you.
And it happened right when I mean, honestly, when you were talking, I started just getting like, whoa, something's coming in, and then you toned, and I was like, all right, well.
Here we go.
Someone's wondering what is in this oil.
Or Nathaniel. Yeah, let's look it up. Yeah, this is one that's been around for quite a while. Okay, so um, Fur Fraser, Golden Smithy, Palo Santo, Hyssop, Alemi, Rosemary Verbena, St. John's wort, and basil. Yeah, I just saw them blend actually. I was like, all of those guys are friends with each other too. Did I say Alemi?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, nice shares and questions, guys.
Okay, so we're going to do it a little bit more. This time we'll do inhalation and I'll say the name. So let's start with your awareness on the crown. You're inhaling with your awareness on the crown. Your awareness is on your crown. Just hear my voice as you inhale. No. Fine. Ill. Your awareness is on your front heart. You're inhaling, your awareness is on the front heart. No. Then I your awareness is on the back heart. How's that one feeling? Your awareness is on the back heart. No. Then oh. Oh. Your awareness is back on the crown. You're inhaling, your awareness is on the crown. Your awareness is still in your crown. No. Fan. Just let go. Let go of everything. Just let go. Okay, let's do the 4 quadrants. You're inhaling, your awareness is on the left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, down the outer leg to the left outer ankle. No than I Move your awareness to the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, front of your pelvis, down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. Awareness is on the front side of the body. No than Your awareness is on the right side of your body. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder and ribs, your right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. No than your backside of your body, the whole backside, back of your head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. No. Then. I. Just let go. I hope you guys had a good experience tonight. Next week, it's going to be a variation of the same thing. So, if you enjoyed tonight, I'd say definitely join us for next week because we'll be continuing with what we're doing. So, we're going to slide over to the Tuesday night prayer petition blessing, and it's a little opportunity to spread some light and have a little quick meditation, receive some blessings, and hopefully you can join in us. If not, some of you I'm seeing on the weekend for the free class this coming up weekend, and if not, maybe next Tuesday for the angelic journey. Next week is Netanel, so it's a variation of what we just did. So take care, you guys.